What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel and thank you again for tuning in. Today's video is brought to you by a new iPhone that I got because I broke my other one. So I'm gonna be doing some cool stuff today, right? Today's gonna be a little bit different. It is third gen related, which is nice, but the truck's not here. The truck's at the body shop. It's gonna be there for a few more weeks, getting all the TLC that I can imagine as far as the body goes. Aesthetically, that thing should look pretty much brand new by the time that I get it back. And when I get done with it, it should pretty much look brand new all the way around, right? Now, let's do a little side note on that. So I did order new window trim for all four windows, right? Which is what you see right here, which I showed you guys before. I got all four doors window trim from Gino's Garage online. Fast shipping, good price. I already test fitted one of them. They fit phenomenal, okay? The second piece that I got is actually right above me. This box right here. I got a brand new windshield wiper cowl that I ordered a couple weeks ago off of eBay. Already took it out of the box. It looks phenomenal. I mean, literally, it looks great, right? I know some folks paint the factory windshield wiper cowl that's on there. I prefer the black to kind of break it up, especially with the cowl hood on there. So I went ahead and ordered a new windshield wiper cowl. What I've got sitting to my left right now, I was fortunate enough to actually get via trade. Now I had some 22x12 fuel clashes that I traded for. I threw those on my third gen. I spent hours cleaning those wheels. I got them to look pretty good. I would say probably 80–85% new, but at the end of the day, they didn't fit the bill. So I listed them for sale or trade. The wheels that I asked for trade, I had no idea would actually work, but it did. So let me show you. Now, if you know, you know, okay? Without further ado, here are the new to me, not new, but new to me wheels that I'm gonna be putting on the third gen. A set of 22x12 BMF Novocaines, 8x6.5 lug pattern, black and milled. Now, these wheels, ladies and gentlemen, to me, are the absolute, probably the nicest wheel that you can put on a third gen that's not a full-on show truck or drag truck, right? And with what I'm planning to do to the third gen, these right here are perfect. And what I mean by that is the look, and I love these wheels. I've loved these wheels since they came out back in the day. I remember seeing, I had friends that had these wheels in their trucks and I was like, God, they just look so cool. But I was spending money on Go Fast parts and transmissions and lift pumps and all that kind of stuff for my Dodge. So I never really bought a nice set of wheels for it. But coming full circle and learning and having this idea and this vision in my head of what I want my third gen to look like, that's it. I'm done, right? The tires that are on them are garbage. Gonna throw that out there now. In fact, this tire right here, that's on probably the nicer of the four wheels, it looks like the bead's broken in here because the inside and outside actually sit higher and the inside kind of dips in. So I will be keeping the wheels on there just as I clean them and get them looking as good as possible. I do have a set of Nitto 420Vs that'll be going on these as soon as these are done. And I mean done. I mean looking as good as I can possibly get them to look. I did come across a guy that does wheel touch up and does a phenomenal job. So once I get done doing all the wash and wax and buffing and all that, he will touch them up. Then I'll put a coat of polish on them and then I'll ceramic coat them and then they'll be ready for the new tires. So today I'm gonna be cleaning up some wheels. I know, right? Repetitive. But I'm gonna show you what I do and what I use. So let's get right to it. For starters, I've got my Adams bucket outside. 5-gallon bucket, halfway filled with water, as well as dumped half of one of these bad boys in there. Now this stuff works pretty good. I like it, I'm a fan of it. I use it on everything as far as my trucks and my Jeeps go, and it just works great, right? It's pretty concentrated, but I knew that I was gonna need the entire bucket to wash all four of these things, so I dumped half the bucket in. I got my Adams bucket out here. Now, let me tell you, this thing is killer, okay? 5-gallon bucket, has a screw-on lid. So during the winter, and yes, I said winter, when it's 30 degrees out, I fill this with super hot water, soap, whatever rags I'm gonna be using, screw the lid on, go to the car wash, and it's still super hot. Plus it has a little filter in the bottom that's removable, so that way when you put your rags back in there, anything that comes off the rags, dirt or grit or whatever, goes to the bottom and you don't have to worry with that stuff. Basically getting back on the rag when you go to use it back on your car or truck or whatever again, okay? So I'm gonna get started by washing these things off. Okay, so it's washed. Now let's see how bad it actually is. Here is the first one washed up. Not too bad, but it's wet, so keep that in mind, right? Everything looks better in black when it's got a coat of, water on it or it's been freshly washed. But now you can kind of start seeing, some of the little nicks and whatnot that the wheels actually have in them. You'll notice I actually went through and kind of washed the barrel a couple times. Every time that I washed the barrel, it got smoother and smoother as I went over it with each pass. So right now, I'm gonna dry it off and I'm gonna actually see how bad this thing is. Now, let's see if I can get a better view of it. So here's how it looks in the sun. It's not too bad, right? They cleaned up pretty nicely, and honestly, the wheels aren't in that bad a shape. So as far as I'm concerned, I'll probably polish in each of the windows, obviously, and then on the inside of the windows where the lug nuts go, I'll get all that cleaned up really nice with some hand polish, and then get the wheel looking as good as I can. So honestly, it's not really in that bad a shape. So now it's time to get this thing looking as good as I possibly can, get it dried up, and then I'll see which one of my products I use on the wheels itself. All right, so after some process of elimination, I figured out the perfect combo to get these wheels looking about as good as I can. Again, I'm no professional by any means, but again, I had this idea on these wheels and they are fully coming to fruition. So first off, I ended up not using one of my other polishers that I have. It was a little too big, and when I put the pads on there, it just didn't seem to kind of get into where the face of the wheel meets the barrel. So this is gonna be pretty awesome. Let me show you. I ended up grabbing my Bauer Harbor Freight Special. And again, the same kind of pads that I'd mentioned earlier. I ended up getting a couple more actually. I went with a Meguiar's foam disc, right? Now this one is the actual finishing disc. This is the one that's on my Bauer right now that I'm using on this wheel. The first one that I use after obviously clay boring and everything is actually a cutting disc, and I ordered these off of Amazon. I think they were like 20 bucks for the pair, or 24 bucks for the pair. So I got 4 discs total, 2 of each to do these wheels. And I gotta tell you, I am super, super excited with how they're turning out. I went over to O'Reilly's and I picked up myself a fresh bottle of some Meguiar's polish, which actually works really, really well. That's what I'm kind of on this final step with this wheel right now. And then I've actually got, to start it off, some Meguiar's compound, which this stuff works pretty good too. Obviously I use this on the cutting disc and I'm using the polish on the softer ones. So now, I did get some new center caps for these things, which I'll show you guys here in a second as soon as I get done doing this wheel. Now, one of the things that I kind of figured I would do to make it a little bit easier so I wasn't kind of overlapping work on these things was I went ahead and put some painter's tape on the tire itself. So that way I know, for example, like I'm doing this wheel in sections. So essentially from here, this spoke right here, down to the BMF spoke, and then basically from here all the way up to this tape over here. So that way it's basically a half at a time. And again, it allows me to kind of track my work so I'm not kind of overlapping the entire time and doing more than needs to. But I gotta tell you guys, the combination of the pads, the compound, and the polish, these things are cleaning up so nice. And the last step, right, as far as that goes, is I got some PXR Touch Up, which is actually a gloss black from Mopar. So I can kind of touch up kind of the bigger rock chips in the wheels. Now again, these aren't gonna look brand new. I didn't get these things to make them look brand new, but I'm gonna be damned if they won't look as good as I possibly can. So let me show you the first one that is pretty much done. Now, my goal for today was to basically get all 4 wheels done as far as polish and compound goes, which I'm accomplishing. The next step is going to be to ceramic coat the wheels. So I'd like to put a couple coats of ceramic on the face of the wheel as well as the barrel. I'm not going to be doing the inside barrel of the wheel until obviously the new tires, the new nittles go on and they're balanced. And even then I probably won't ceramic coat them just because if I ever decide to switch tires up down the road with these wheels, I don't want to make it impossible to throw wheel weights on there. So, all right, you guys ready? Here's the final product with one of the new center caps installed. The only thing I'm waiting to do to this bad boy is to ceramic coat it, but I couldn't wait to show you how it turned out. Check it out. Ready? Are you ready? I'm super stoked. So without further ado, let me show you what I've been busting my ass for. That right there. Brand new center caps. Got these bad boys off of eBay in a set of 4. So they fit in there really nice. They match the wheels, obviously gloss black and all the good stuff. But this wheel, these wheels are turning out so nice. It's not even funny. And I honestly couldn't be more happy with the outcome. Now, the last piece of this puzzle is going to be me ceramic coating them, which in that I will be using this stuff right here. It's an Adams graphene ceramic, works extremely well. I'll be using Adams little gray applicator pads just to make sure that I evenly spread it on the wheel. I'll be doing the barrel, the forward barrel and the front of the face of the wheel and the center caps as well, because these things are going to look so good on the truck. So that's it for today, guys. Gave you an update on the 07, kind of walked you through how I kind of bring wheels back to life a little bit without spending a crazy amount of money to have them repowder coated or having them even professionally done. Again, I'm not a professional, but hopefully if you saw this video, maybe you pick something up from it. Maybe it gives you the confidence to kind of, you know, tackle that set of wheels you got set on your truck or car, whatever it is right now. But I am so excited. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any comments or questions or anything, leave them down below. And next video will be on the 5th gen, right there, parked right here, right behind my wife's 4th gen. Because that thing is turning out slick. I got the 38s on it. I don't know if you saw this, but I got a box right here. That is for the 5th gen. So next video. Have a great day. Have an awesome week. And thanks again.